Hello world, welcome back to my channel. My name's Paul. Have you noticed my new lens? Less of me and more of everything else. That way you'll have more of the beautiful countryside I'm showing you and less of my face on your screen. I'm sure you'll all be happy about that. Remember, this is another video in the 5,000 subscription Mavic Mini giveaway, so remember to listen out for the code words. We're off to Pingelly today, which is about 150 k's out of Perth, sort of southeast. Beautiful little country town, but for now, let's roll the intro. Morning. It's 8:30. Late for me to get started, but I have been up. Put the drone up already. I'll show you that now. And we're at the Exchange Tavern in Pingelly. This is a heritage listed hotel. They're not allowed to change anything. They have to keep it the way it is. But what a beautiful old building, as you would have just seen in the drone footage. We've got a lot planned today, but for now I'm going to go and have some breakfast. And now I'm at the Pingelly train station. Another amazing old building. I got lucky and I posted in the Pingelly, one of the Pingelly Facebook pages, that I was going to be here, and I've been invited here by John Timms. He's actually going to show us around. But yeah, they were told 5 years ago that this was going to the dump. They were going to knock it, demolish it if they didn't do something with it. So the town got together and they've renovated it. Beautiful, beautiful old building. But in 1890 was the original train station, but they knocked that down in 1930 and built this one. Well, that was a very informative little tour. John Timms and his wife Val, back 30 odd years ago, they were going to demolish the place, but Val's dad worked for the Shire back then, and Val said, no, this is a big part of Pingelly, we can't lose it. And then again 5 years ago, but now they've saved it. They've spent a lot of time. Lotteries West, CBH, which are the people that cart our wheat, they were all a big part of saving this beautiful, beautiful old building. And we'll make the code word for here, train. If you remember in the Harvey, Waroona and Yarloop video, I showed you the 72-hour camping grounds. Well, this is another one here. A lot less restrictions at this one. You can't dump your affluent or grey water, of course. You can't park in your tents. It's got to be self-contained RVs. But there is toilets at the other side at the Pioneer Park. There's actually one of those exercise parks there with all the little different machines. The Pingelly Council and the local community, they're really trying to put Pingelly on the map for tourism, and they're doing a great job, guys. Just in what you can see with me turning around here, it's just gorgeous. And I'm in the middle of town here, but let's jump in the car, show you a lot more. And the local Tourist Information Centre, Community Craft Centre. We'll go inside and have a look, get some better plans for the day. And we'll make the code word for here the same as the code word for the Information Centre in Lancelin, which was the last video. And now we're at Humphreys Bridge. This is the CWA hall behind us. Now this is another free camping spot, and when I say that, this is in Wandering Shire. We've just left Pingelly. The Wandering Shire Council kind of frown on the free camping, but the hall that we've got here, this is the local CWA hall. And they make their money from caravan clubs coming down here and renting out the hall. So the Wandering Shire do allow you to camp here for 48 hours. And technically it's 48 hours, but people have been known to stay here longer. And this is the original Humphreys Bridge. I've had a few conflicting reports, but it's late 1800s, early 1900s this was built. And in the 80s, it started getting a bit iffy, so they built the new bridge, which I'll show you in a minute. And it wasn't long after that the old bridge collapsed, so it was good timing that they did it. And we'll make the code word for here, bridge. Now this is the original Pumphrey's homestead. It was built in 1867. It was the original homestead of the whole area, and there's not much here now, but this was a big area. It had an army camp, a milling town. There was all sorts of stuff here. Now, I could jump this fence and go and show you around, but they've locked the fence for a reason. And but if you come here, you can get permission to go in there. It's well worth a look. And we'll make the code word for here, Homestead. Now we're at the Pingelly Museum. It's, I believe, it's open by appointment. We had to, I rang up this morning and organised to meet them now at 2 o'clock. But you'll see this little sign just here. The phone numbers are on there, so you just ring them and they'll organise to open for you. And this is the inside of the museum. And here they've got the local newspapers from, what years was it? 1950 to 1983, amazing. Look at that. And it even feels, they've been well looked after. So this is the plaque just here from when it was made into a museum in 1979. But in 1897 it was built, 1898 it was opened as the school. But when it got too big, the school got too big, they built another school up here in 1906. And after that, this became the local courthouse, and now it's the museum. And this is the local weather reporter. If it's wet, it's raining. If it's dry, it's sunny. If it's white on top, it's snowing. So here's where you come to get the Pingelly weather. If you remember in the Merredin, what was this town named after video, I told you how the whole town of Merredin had been moved a few kilometres because the train line couldn't go through the hills, through the solid rocks. Same thing happened here. The original township was Murrumbine, which was the name of the Aboriginal name for the local spring, local waterhole. This is St Patrick's Church. This was built in 1873, which, to some of my foreign subscribers, that doesn't seem very old at all, but for Australia, that's a very, very old building. Now, all around us here, there's a lot of homesteads. You can see over down here, I don't know if you can see it, and another one over here. They're all built around the same era, and you're allowed to walk through here. You're allowed to drive through here. It's encouraged, but they are private residences, so I don't want to go filming them. A bit of respect, but guys, come out here. This is an amazing part of the world, and this is the local Anzac Park. If you remember in the Dale Wallenew video, I explained to you that most towns in Australia have an Anzac Memorial Park. Well, this one, I'm reading plaques, guys that lost their lives in wars, some that I'd never even heard of. So this is Ironstone Hill. Up the top here's the Apex Lookout. Apex is a wonderful non-for-profit organisation that help the disadvantaged and underprivileged in Australia. Always been doing wonderful work all over the country. Let's go up and have a look. And now we're at the top of Ironstone Hill, Apex Lookout. Look at this, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Now, we've been a bit lucky in been a lot of rain the last couple of weeks, so it would have been a lot drier if we'd come up 2 weeks ago when we went to Lancel, and if we'd come here instead, it wouldn't have been. There was just enough rain to take the sort of harshness out of the country. Absolutely beautiful. But in winter, you'll see when we go to Narrogin and Bridgetown and things, in winter, all this yellow you can see all around here, that'll be bright, bright green. I'll put the drone up so you can see better. Told you a few times on this channel, guys, I'm not at all religious. And I show churches because they're such beautiful examples of architecture. But look at this, guys. This is true proof of someone's faith. This farmer had a vision that he was supposed to put a cross on his property. In 1992, in 2002, he told his church, you know, I know I'm meant to do this. And a little while later, he went back to church, said, well, I've built the cross and I've dug the hole, but I'm never going to be able to afford the concrete, but at least I got part of the way there. A few weeks later, there'd been so many donations, and he didn't ask for donations, and not just from Pingelly, but from all over the place, that he was able to put the cross up. It's amazing. A true proof of faith. It's 15.5 metres high. Each one of those arms is 4.7 metres long, and it weighs 2.7 tonne. It really is. I'm not religious, but I can respect people's devotion to their beliefs. Morning. Sunday now. Another beautiful old church. What an amazing building. The cornerstone plaque there, the actual year it was built is rubbed off, but the one at Moorabbin yesterday was 1873, and I imagine this one's pretty close. That's the problem with Perth. We knock down all our old buildings to build modern stuff. When I first went to Auckland, New Zealand, I thought Auckland looked so much older than Perth, when really it's younger, but that's just because they kept all their old buildings, where we just knocked everything down. It's a little bit sad. And we were just driving up to Boyagin Rock, which you'll see in a minute, and we saw all these sheep just running across the paddock. I said to Janet, oh, the farmer will be about to feed them somewhere. And we turned around and we saw his four-wheel drive coming up here, and he opened the hopper and all the sheep are eating wheat. End of summer, pretty soon they'll be eating grass again, but the end of summer he has to feed them, I guess. And I don't know if you can see, but he's over the other side of the paddock there on his way back home. And now we're at Boyagin Nature Reserve. That's Boyagin Rock just there. Can't really see it through the trees. We got a really good glimpse of it on the way here. This is maybe 20-25 kilometres out of Pingelly. About a 17-kilometre gravel road, but it's a really good road. You can come up. We bought the old Mazda up here, but as you've seen, we get around a fair bit in the old Mazda. Yeah, you can just see the top of Boyagin Rock just there. This is a nature reserve. It's all fenced off. There's I'm not sure how many acres, but it's a natural zone for native animals, and they've got these islands all over West Australia, islands of bush, to protect the local wildlife. I'll put the drone up. There's a paddock over here, so I can put the drone up safely where there's no trees, and you'll get a better view of the Boyagin Rock. You can do a 45-minute return walk to the top of the rock, and apparently the views are amazing, but we're at the end of the weekend. We've had enough. We're just driving home because this is on the way back to Perth, but it's quite a nice walk, we're told. And you got barbecues you can see here, and if I turn around, got a toilet block there. So beautiful spot. You can come out and have your lunch, walk up to the top of the hill, and we'll make the code word for here rock. The Brookton Highway on the way home, and there was a sign on the road saying eggs and honey, and we've got plenty of honey, but we came in to get some eggs. We bought 3 dozen, but look at this. I really wasn't expecting this in the middle of the bush. Beautiful. And now they're going to go down and show us their gardens. They say that'll take our breath away, so let's go and have a look. Look at the friendly emus here, coming over for a chat. Oh, what a fun weekend, guys. Is it the friendliest town in WA? Well, that's a big call, but God, they were just such friendly, happy people everywhere we went. You know, places we went that should have taken me half an hour to film were taking me an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, because everyone was just so friendly, wanted to chat. Yeah, no, I really had a great time, guys. Now remember, get your entries in for the 5,000 subscription Mavic Mini giveaway. I'll put a video explaining the rules up here. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the Mad Dog icon up there or the subscribe button down below. Give me a big thumbs up and we'll see you in the next one.